Good evening and welcome to 1111 Life. This is your old friend Aaron Anthony, and right now it's the twilight hour. Beautiful periwinkle, peach, and magenta tones in the sky. And as far as I'm concerned, it's one of my favorite things to appreciate in this 3D world. So let's talk about something that, if you're watching this video, you're probably relatively familiar with. Do you see numbers? Yes, you're weird, and that's okay. You're conscious, you're awakened, you're paying attention to these things, and that's okay. What numbers do you see? How often do you see them? These things do matter, and what's most important that matters is that it's personal, that it's highly individual. So, let's start off with some of the most basic ones. 1111, hence my channel name 1111 Life. Or perhaps you see 555 or 1234. Now, you are free to look these up on the internet and you will see many sources of what their meanings are. For example, 555 can symbolize changes coming in your life. 777, you could interpret that as luck. 888, abundance, money, or wealth, spiritual or otherwise. 222, it's okay, everything's fine, all is well. These are some very generalized meanings that are available on the internet that, pardon the fly, that do have some validity and will for you as well, if you choose to focus on them in that way. But when you see the numbers, pay attention to what you're thinking about, what you're feeling, what you're focused on at that time. And also realize that you have the ability to change that meaning. That you're the one who's giving the meaning to anything in life, including these numbers. That these numbers are responding to you and what you're choosing, what you're intending at that moment. They will also serve as communication from the larger part of yourself, from guides, from angels as well. And no doubt, if you are in, let's say, a moment of despair, and all of a sudden you look at the clock and it says 222, and you know that means it's okay, everything's fine, it's going to be all right, and it just hits you right when you need it to. That was meant to be. You wanted to see that. You needed to see that. It was right then and there for that reason. Now, when I talk about numbers being highly personalized, you might see other numbers that are not in any of these books or on any websites. For example, I see the number 442. And when I started seeing this number, I knew I was seeing it for a reason, and I kept seeing it for a reason. And the way I treated it was this. Growing up, I liked a lot of old cars, and one of my favorite cars was the Oldsmobile 442. And when I see this number, to me, it's a confirmation, literally, of like, drive down this path. Keep going down this path. You're on the right track. Keep going down this path. That's the right thought. That's the right intention for your highest good. Okay? Likewise, you can also program numbers to have more specific meanings, like I'll see the number of my dad's birthday and I'll know that's a focus from him, or perhaps that he's nearby and whatnot because he's passed on. Likewise, my twin flame. A long time ago, I read about the number 717 having twin flame resonance, and sure enough, it started appearing in my daily experience. When I would focus upon a person who I thought was my twin flame, or when it was just spontaneously out of nowhere as a sign of reassurance, and I feel also as a way of letting me know that my twin flame is focusing upon me, having my intention on me, longing for me, and whatnot. But also really just that reminder of I'm on this journey. It's inescapable. So, You get to choose what these numbers mean, but they're exciting because when you see them and when they hit, right when they hit, when you least expect it, and when it's what exactly what you need to know, doesn't that just make you feel so big, so part of something greater that you can't explain, that you know, like, wow, this is just unbelievably amazing how interconnected everything is. How could I ever conceive that there isn't more to this universe than what meets the eye? And these numbers, when you see them, help you remember that. Not like when you see or experience a coincidence or a repetition of things, a synchronicity. Those are there also to keep reminding you of like how fun this can be. I had it happen the other day at work. When something happened and I was like, wow, that's interesting. Okay, how bizarre is that? Wow, okay, fine, that's fun, whatever. The same exact thing happened again an hour later. I'm like, wow, I can't help but laugh. How wonderful, how unpredictable, how miraculous that experience was. And the more and more and more I experience things like that, the more every day just really seems like a miracle, and everything in life feels like a miracle, which it really is. And these numbers, when you see them, are kind of like a little reminder of that too. So like I said, going back, it doesn't matter if you're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 or triple twos or quad fours, as I call them. I programmed 4 to really exclusively mean no, because I had a little bit of ambiguity with that number when it would show up in my experience, and trying to gather my thoughts and my intention as to, should I really not go down this path? So I programmed it, told my guides, source, hey, let's make triple 4 and quad 4 mean no. Do not go down this path. Stop what you're thinking. Stop right there. And sure enough, when I am doing whatever and I see that, I'm like, shit. Damn it. But I try not to feel guilty about it. But it's just like, okay, I'm going to back away from that. And sure enough, later I do realize maybe that wasn't the smartest road to focus upon. But isn't this fun? These numbers. And it's just one aspect of this reality that the more and more awakened and conscious you are, the more you realize just how delightful it is. How every day, every moment, living it unexpectedly makes it seem so much more juicy and alive. And I do apologize, as the lighting is going down, you can see the twilight hours in full effect. It's quite beautiful out. And this is probably also a telltale sign for me it's time to upgrade to the newest iPhone, at least for the sake of a new camera. But I think that's it for this video. You get the impression, if you're watching this video because you're seeing these numbers, like I said, there's multiple sources on the internet. Consider me one of them, and all these others. They're all great. But you are the ultimate source. Goodbye.